So it's Sunday, I know, and my wife is teaching class. I don't want to bother her, but it's also Thanksgiving number 3 for me, because I had a potluck at work. I went to have it at my mom's house, and now I'm making it at home. I got the turkey done, got the stuffing ready to go, got the potatoes done, I got my broth ready, and I'm baking some cakes. Whoa. And I'm ready to put this fucking motor in. And so I got, Asian people, they like whipped cream on their cakes. So I got my bowl out here chilling so I can whip up some heavy whipping cream. I used to be a wedding cake decorator, so making a cake from scratch ain't nothing for me. But I think I got this set up so it's going to be ready to go. I got a jack underneath it to try to support it, so maybe I could, change the angle of it a little bit or whatever. I'm probably going to have to move my gas can. I think I'm going to put it over here, maybe, because then I could set the camera down there. But I'm going to set the motor on this bastard right here, and it's going to go limp, 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 limp. I'm going to try to carry the fucking thing with my broken ass wrist, and then onto the table, and then into the frame. And I got this whole thing buttered up real good, so should slip right in there, and we'll see how it goes. I think I got enough of my bolts cleaned off. I kind of remember which ones are which. This one, there's a bushing, it goes on the left side. I remembered that. And these brackets, I don't fucking feel like cleaning them. They're not going to be seen, and I kept them hooked up so I knew which way the bolts went. This obviously still has to be cleaned, but that's like the last thing I'm going to put on the bike. Almost literally the last thing. Alright, let's go. Alright. I got 2 cakes ready. The other one's a little bigger. It's going to take some longer to cook. But I'm looking in there at that bastard. I'm going to try to move it. That was the worst 10 seconds of my life. I'm just kidding. I've had worse motors. Alright, usually what I do is I'll straddle the top of the fucking motor. Make sure I move my keys. And I'm gonna sweat, so I'm gonna take my fucking hat off. Oh my god. Alright. I can't necessarily ready myself anymore for this. But I know once it's done, I feel pretty fucking good. Straighten out this wheel as much as I can. God damn it, I'm sticking my fucking foot in the wrong spot. Alright. A little bit closer. Jesus Christ. I don't think I'm ready for this. No, I'm so fucking nervous. No, this fucking wrist is so weak. Whoa. No, I gotta put my foot right here. I don't want it this far over. Shit. Alright, you know what? I'll fucking put this right here. Just to move it out if I have to later. It's not a big deal. My fucking wrist is really weak. I gotta get out this side.
garnish it with peanuts, a little chili powder on top of it. It's a wonderful variation. Is it really worth going to all that work?
Okay, I think I got it. Almost. You know what? This is where the jack's gonna come in handy. Because I think I gotta fucking... Okay, I got distracted. I got my knife. Let's check it. Oh, that's done. Yeah, that's totally done. Nice. Nice. I see him when I second mechanic. We make Thanksgiving dinner. We'll put together a bike. And a cake for dessert. Oh, yeah. That's pretty sexy. So this thing is cherry, man. I am happy that it looks sexy in there. Look at that fucking shininess. You know, I decided I'm going to leave that there because this right here, this little grundle, and these right here were some of the rustiest parts on the bike. And I ground that shit down and put fresh paint on it. And if it's got this on it, it'll protect it from rocks and whatever. And some motherfucker can take them off someday or whatever if he really wants to. But I'm going to try to lift up this beast into the right position. Right there. So, it's just lined up. Once you get one bolt in, you are golden. Uh-oh, one of these is slightly longer than the other. Uh-oh. I'm willing to bet that the upper one might be the shorter one, because I think the lower one is probably the ground bolt. Usually, when this happens, you gotta rock it. Yeah, there you go. It's in. I'm in like Flynn. And now, the name of the game is maybe that bolt. So this here is not a brand new OEM battery box, but the one that I cooked with the wrinkle coat on using my heat gun. And I spent probably about 2 hours sanding and grinding on it to get all the rust off, because the bottom was completely caked with fucking rust, as these things usually get. And I know that it probably goes on this way. I just don't know how well it's going to fit into here. And I'm wondering, sometimes what I do is I put that tape on it. By the way, I got all the bolts in the motor, so it's on there really good. I removed the thing, and I didn't put the gasket on that, and I gotta find the chain. I gotta kick it around somewhere, because I left off the starter motor to reduce the weight so that I could carry the bastard in here. This, I'm wondering, I think I'm just gonna grease the fuck out of it. I'm not gonna put the tape on there, because if I put tape on it, it'll make it way too tight, and the paint on it already added some of the thickness on there. So, you know, you can do, from here it's really not hard to put the bike back together. It's like the simple stuff. The coils, little rubbers for the gas tank, you put them on last before you put the gas tank on, the rubber for the gas tank. It's basically the battery box, run the wiring harness through. I might actually want to run the wiring harness through first, because this one, they had this thing all planned out. You run the wiring harness over, and I think it comes up maybe right through here. I think it comes up underneath it rather than like over the top of the frame here, because they ran the one side that goes to the battery, choop, right there just perfectly, and then the other side went through this channel, choop, back to here. I think, I can't remember which one exactly, but I knew that it was like that, and I was like, whoa, these guys fished it through there, and it made it almost completely clean, like there wasn't a wiring harness on it. So I might back up boop, 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 just a little bit, and reverse course a little on the battery box and get my wiring harness in there, which is, fuck me, somewhere around here. Here it is. Not the cleanest looking thing, but wiring harnesses don't have to be super clean. The spaghetti mess obviously goes in the front, and the other shit goes in the back. So I know that's going to be up on there, or I could fish it through, but that little hook kind of lets me think that that's totally what that's for, unless it's for the cable for the throttle or something like that, which is also very possible. But this being bent the way it was originally, these are here go down to the stator, and the other shit is for the brake light switch, and there's a ground for something, and that's the power for a brake and something else, and the regulator, the regulator rectifier. So the green was for the regulator, the other black was for the regulator, and the yellow was for the regulator, which I bought a single regulator rectifier, which is just going to plug into this part. Somehow it does it without plugging into the black again, because I know Common Motor sells one like that, but I did manage to get this fished through. It went through like this, I believe, but it went through there just the way it was, because this will be clipped boop, down to that, and I got the fucking rubber part for it, bitch, somewhere I've got it. The other little rubber boot that goes over it, I softened it and took it off, but it'll go shoop onto that again and protect these things. You don't really need it, but you know, I can put it back on. And this has to go just to here, you know, it's one of those kinds of things you don't want it too much longer or shorter, and it's just perfect because it's stock. I love fucking stock bikes. Everything's just the way it should be. This is the hot wire from the ignition switch, and the black wire, I think, that goes to these both go to the solenoid. This also goes to the solenoid because the battery, I think it goes to the battery. Maybe it's the hot that goes to the battery, and that's the fuse, obviously, and it clips right into this little part right here in the box. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, just right there. All right, moving on. I got the battery box in, that down. There's a bolt here, there's a bolt over here, and there's 2 bolts on the other side there. I got these weird long ones, I don't know what the fuck they're for. Maybe they're for this or for mounting something else. This is for the latch for the seat as it goes over. Greased up a couple extra points, but I just got the brake lever on. Brake stay, this little spring goes, ooh fuck, I don't think that spring's on there very good. Uh-oh. Oh no! Alright, well I'll have to fix that. But I was gonna show you this. When you know it's working. So you know it's working. I just happen to have a little noise meter on my voltmeter, which works great. Alright, so I was a dum-dum. And I even had this thing wadded up in there all ready to go. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, wait a minute. Where am I supposed to attach that fucker? And I went and I put the damn spring on the part where I gotta put where that's supposed to go. So I fucked that up. But, you know, I remedied it and I stuck it in the right spot. And you know, I just gotta adjust this again so this doesn't hit. It's kind of like, you know, works much better now. Should be good. Doesn't hit there. But now I gotta figure out how to get this stupid little cotter pin in there. I think it's all in there. So I decided that well, the brake isn't gonna line up right because I don't have that fucking chain on there. So I got things on the left side that are more important. I'm gonna put the chain and this wonderful cleaned up starter back in there, which will do 2 things. It will allow me to finally button up that bolt and that bolt over there because that's part of the hot wire that goes all the way up into there. I remember I had to fucking make a new one for that one. It's got all these nice little, it had 2 little flanges to go onto there and there. One of these probably has the ground on it and I just left it off for now. I'll put it back on there later. And I'm not going to connect that, which goes into there, until later. Light on the situation here. That's supposed to be for the neutral switch. I'm thinking that's what's wrong with my other bike, that I got this right here on there and it just didn't connect well enough. But this is going to be... Gets hooked on there pretty easily and then doesn't want to come off. I don't want to jack it up. That right there got bent. That holds this wire out of the way. But I got the chain in this box over here for my starter. And I got the cover and the clutch cover. Oh, fuck. That's the problem with having a tiny ass garage. That's the chain. So I'm gonna bust out and pew! Start taking this sucker apart. One bitch. One of these, there's supposed to be 2 of them. Constantly running up with extra bolts or losing a few. I'll figure it out. So I've been running into a situation where, you can't just get it on, the sprocket or whatever with this. They're supposed to be together, they're going to be connected. It only turns one way because the starter clutch, this is the starter clutch behind here, that's the, the alternator or whatever, the stator. But I think this is probably going to be the trick. I'm just going to back it out a little bit. And then I will probably have just enough room to get down there. And then I can bang this back in and bolt the bitch down. That's it. So now that's how much slack is on it. That's what's going on there most of the time. And I greased it up. So that's about it. Just a little tip on putting the fucking chain on. So I'm back on to got the wire harness in. I accidentally thought that the brake cable was the clutch cable, which is something. Obviously, the brake is longer than the clutch. Whoops. But the clutch has a tiny little head that fits into there. And I shoved that in there, and I got the spring on it. And I'm just getting my bolts ready, and I'm going to slap that sucker up in there. But I also made sure that I plugged in my neutral switch wire and got the singer here, which keeps wanting to go crooked on me. What's this? Ugh, it's in there. I shoved it in there crooked. That's not good. Just the little grommet that holds the wires in. I'm going to straighten that out and get it in there good. Because that's kind of nice. But, yep, moving on. Alright, well, I got my coils and my ignition and the horn on the other side just because they both go through the two bolts. The one bracket here goes on to hold the flasher relay, and I bought myself a brand new flasher relay because my other one was toast. Go figure. It's easy to get your coils right when you know the colors match. I guess the orange and the orange, that was like a new modern thing or whatever. That doesn't really matter. One or the other doesn't matter, I think, because they're both sides of the condenser are the same. But if you don't have this bracket on, please attach it with the condenser first before you get your coils in. I think you just put them in this way. I had it off because I thought it was easier to get it off this way, so I struggled to get those two screws on, but got it. Anyway, the other important part, I put on the clutch, I hooked up the brake, good. When I was connecting the wire that goes, it goes all the way through here. This is the end of the stator. There's a mod that you want to make to all these cb350s and 360s and 450s from the 70s. And it's to connect the yellow and the white wire coming from the stator together, so that way, I guess it's if the headlight switch is on, then it's going to be activating both of them. Otherwise, if it's not on, it won't turn on both of them. It won't connect both of them. Somehow that's how they wired it, because they thought that you needed more juice, more charging power at idle when the headlight was on, which makes sense. But you kind of want to be charging your battery more all the time because this is a weak system anyway. So, common motor says to do that, and you can do it anywhere in the system. You can do it in the switch. You can do it over here where it comes out into the headlight bucket. You could even do it into there. But in here, there's not a lot of room. In the headlight bucket, you don't want to be making more spaghetti mess. So I like to do it right here in the wiring harness. I believe that's what I did the last time, and it worked out fine. So you can just kind of, I'm going to put tape over them, but it'll just be hidden and protected right there, and just smush them together, and fucking doesn't matter. So that's what I'm on to now. I kind of got everything sort of buttoned up right here, and it's all going to be underneath the tank, so it doesn't fucking matter anyway. And this thing has to be held up by something. I think I'll just put a strap around it just to hold it level. I want to wait though, because I remember there was a video a guy made, and he said that oh, that's with the throttle. When the throttle is coming through, he said that got hung up on shit or whatever, but I haven't run that through yet, so we're moving on. So, I had a fucked up realization when I was just perusing the CL and cb350 forum group on Facebook. Somebody had a picture of their airbox and was saying something about whatever, or the battery box. It was about something unrelated. But then I looked at it, and he had little rubbers on those. Where are my rubbers? I didn't put them into the bag that I had the box in. Where did they go? I was a retard, and I put them on the outside of the swing arm. Now, I'm not going to go backwards and take off the swing arm, especially because I got all this other stuff on, but I made an executive decision that I could probably put them back on after cutting them off. So fucking stupid. Yeah, I did something stupid. It's bound to happen. Thing I blame is I just didn't put them into a separate bag when I was taking everything apart. So, lesson learned, individually bag lots of different things and label them very well. I had those grommets for this air box in the bag with the grommets and all the other parts for the swing arm, and I did not think otherwise than that they would belong in there. So, anyway, I can tell most of the parts on this thing just because I've been working on these bikes for so long, but you make mistakes every once in a while. I got all the wires plugged in the spaghetti mess, and I didn't have any left over, so yay, it's all good. I just got my blue and my white ready for my headlight. Got my headlight there. The green's the only one that goes in there. I know they got extra prongs in there, but that's probably for like morning lights and shit like that, for your low beam and for your high beam or whatever. But I know for a fact that you don't have those kinds of lights. I mean, I got the oh shit light, or the warning light on the top of this, but I think that bucket might have came from like a 360 or something different. I just don't know what it came from. It's not the original bucket. It was originally gold, and somebody painted it black, and I think the black still looks good, so I'm leaving it like that. But I have that little light bulb that fits in there, I think. No, I don't. No. I thought I might have had one from over there, but you know what? I got the light kicking around somewhere, but I'm not going to install it in this because it wasn't in it, and I don't have it, and I don't feel like plugging it in. I could probably make that for the high beam light, but who needs it? You know, if I had thought about it, if I ran across it in my shit and leftovers from that one, then I would have put it in, but this bike will be fine. And I looked into my Regulator Rectifier. I asked them. I bought this fucking little thing, and I don't know if I'll make a separate video on it, but it said Reg Rec in the eBay auction or whatever, sale. And you know what? This is not a fucking regulator. This is just a rectifier. All that does is just converts the AC into DC, because it does not connect in here to the black wire in the system. So I just hooked up the old regulator, and I still have the wires right there on the harness. That's the yellow, the green, and the black. That's how it works. All it does is it just keeps things somewhere around, you know, plus or minus a little bit more than 12 volts. It tries to keep it regulated so that you're not overcharging shit or things in. I mean, it doesn't stop the charging. It stops the. Yeah, it does that. So everything runs on 12 volts. Anyway, I am going to cut that fucking shit off and get them back onto there. I can glue them on if I have to. They're covered in grease now. I have to clean them off again. But the next things I'm going to do are button up every other little thing on here, then plug in some power so that I can set the points with my light. I could make a quick little video on that, I guess. That got loose. Oh, alright. That's right, that's the clutch nut. Yeah, everything's going together. I got everything except for the throttle hooked up. For obvious reasons, I don't have the carbs. So, moving on. See ya. Just to show you. I cut them off and they stick on really nice, so I think they'll be fine. Just a dumbass move on my part, and someone's gonna wonder someday why the fuck they were cut. I'm sure it'll seal just great. It's nothing but a pass between the two air boxes so that it equalizes. It's actually a pretty unique, nice design, considering they just got the location of this right where there's the most airflow, so it stays cool, because that thing gets hot. Because it just burns up extra electricity and converts it into heat. That's how it works. Alright, moving on. So, small note, as I was going to hook up the starter cable, I managed to get around in there, and I thought about it, and I think it might have actually been running up in through the starter and going around that way, but it managed to reach this way just fine, and I kind of like how it's tucked in there hiding it. Those two clamps that I had down there do hold it. That one looks like shit, but it's fine. Anyway, the one bolt that goes through there is a pain in the ass to get to, so I probably shouldn't have put the side cover on. But with the ground cable, which is probably the most important one, it's got a really big eyelet on it, like this. And I can clearly see the little bolt notches that are on it fit this bolt. So, you're supposed to run it down through here on this side. And get down there like that. So, now you got ample room just to reach your battery, I'm quite sure. I could probably run it through this little gap here, but I'm not going to do that. It's fine, just the way it is. And then hook up the other, because there was another clamp that the starter one went onto just on the other side. And that's that. It's like you get ahead of yourself on something, you got to backtrack a little bit. Shit happens all the time. So I bought the cheap-ass Regulator Rectifier that turned out only just to be a regulator, or no, a rectifier. I put the regulator down there, that's fine. But this is one of the old ones, and those fucking assholes put the same fucking plug that I need. I'm just beside myself. But anyway, fuck that shit. And I'm just gonna make sure that... Well, I guess I can't get that wrong because I'll match up the colors. So anyway, I got two of these things because I had two of these fucking bikes, and nobody's gonna want to buy that old ass shit. I'll reuse that. And now I'm just gonna fucking solder that on there. Oh man, new conundrum. I totally forgot that the swing arm definitely, the bolt goes through the, so god damn it. Alright, I'm gonna take that back off again, but I tightened up that, got that down. I don't know if I'm gonna undo it again. Got the solenoid on, that's all good, that's down, fix the plug. God damn. Can't undo that. So there's a good reason why you always have a tap and die set, because I was down here and I had these bolts. I didn't understand what they were for, and I found these 4 bolts because you need the 4 little ones to go into there, and you need the other one to go right there. But I realized this was the same as the one down here because I had 4 of those. I found, well, one of them was totally fucked. The guy before me had this thing in here that was way too long, and it was pretty fucking stripped. And that piece of shit fucked up the one. But I had to test it with my little tapper for that. I found out it was a 8mm 1.25, and then I had to use my tap, and it's either because they were fucked up before or I had gotten too much paint in there. That's normal. I should have plugged them or whatever, but either way, I thought they were too fucked up because no other holes ever get fucked up when I don't have them tapped. So I had to ream this son of a bitch in there, the 8mm 1.25, and clean those motherfuckers out while I was at it. Because that's the next thing I'm going to have to do is put on the foot peg, you know, after I get the muffler on. But back to getting off the swing arm bolt. We're going to see how that goes. Okay, I put oil in it. I got the exhaust pipes on last night. That was a pain in the dick. I only clean these off a little bit. I really didn't give a shit how nasty they are. It'd be so much sandblasting I have to do to fix them. But I did put the main power into the solenoid on accident, and I realized that right away. Battery's hooked up. I already checked it. The turn signals work. The headlight works. And I got it in neutral. Neutral. We're going to see. I just put in oil. That's good. Yay! So I just moved a little bit of oil around in it. Hopefully it's pumping something. Either way, I got tons of lube and grease up in there, the pre-lube, or the, you know, whatever you want to call it. And so now that I got the battery hooked up, I'm going to be setting the points. It's kind of like turn the ignition on, hook up the, where shit in the garage. You shove this somewhere, like boop, into there or whatever. I thought I just saw like a spark of light. So that's gonna be going to ground, and this right here, I think you put it on one of these or something like that. And as it goes around, you want to get it like right there, right on the F. It just happened to have landed right on the F. So right now it would be firing on the, hopefully, if it's lined up right. Let me, let's see what happens here. I believe this right here is the left. I don't remember which part to put it on. Oh, my taillight's on. I should probably unplug that so it doesn't take extra power. It would be open, so there would be no power on it. You gotta take your old 14mm, just around here. Oops, dropped it. Hey, it didn't light up. Uh-oh. I wonder if it's because I don't have the ignition on. I'll figure this out. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I'll get it done. Okay, I got it set right. So, left side. And as I pull it right to the F mark, right about there, it turns off just before it, but right when it hits, okay, it was better like 2 seconds ago. Maybe it's a little too advanced. Alright, so I gotta adjust it again, but you get the idea is that, right there. Slightly too advanced. So, you know, this is a painstaking kind of dick thing to do. It's not even hard to do, but you gotta just get it just right, and then you'll just be so happy because you did. So still working on it. So I'm on to the throttle, and I might have routed it the wrong way. I think I should have probably done something a little different there, but okay, I did a dumbass thing just now because I pulled the throttle. But I wanted to show you, I'll show you with just the one side. you got to equalize the two cables because it's a 1 split into 2, and that's how it goes to 2 bodies. Anyway, what I did was on both sides, I put in, or on one side, what I did was I had it on one adjusted correctly. I put in a washer, and then I grabbed the same exact washer, which I just dumped on the floor, and then I adjusted the little nut on it, and you see they're like, they look like they're way different right now, but that makes them equal, because I had a washer and they would both have about the same tension on them. So now, when you slam them shut, they would go at the same time. That means they're lifting up at the exact same, just a little bit. And I know I got this stupid looking thing over here. It's because that screw right there, I don't know what the fuck happened to it. Somehow, the guy who had it before me just, and it had the original screw in it. It wouldn't be able to lift it up enough to get any idle on it. So I found a screw that would thread through there and had to put 2 fucking springs on it and a washer just to stop it. But that should work. I mean, it ran okay before. It just didn't run good because the motor wasn't running good. Not my fault. I am on to the point where I'm just going to tighten down the carbs. Make sure the choke works. Yep, it works. And I am going to put a little bit of gas in it. I might want to wait a little bit because I think my wife might need me to do something. Well, I got a little bit of time. Might be able to get her going. See what I can do. Okay, so I have, before my battery dies, an issue with one thing. For some reason, this kind of shit always happens. This is supposed to go between the air boxes. The hole lines up great. I can see all the way through it. But when I put it through the one side with the nut, no matter how loose it is, it doesn't go through the other side. Something must have changed where the air box didn't get tightened on, or the tab got bent and they're slightly wider than they should be or whatever. So I'm going to have to find a threaded rod, and remake this, which is probably why these you don't see very many of them anywhere. I thought it was pretty cool that I had it. Maybe I'll just sell it and do whatever, because these 2 rods were for the 450, because these ones thread in just through the air box, and it doesn't go all the way through. It doesn't use the port between the 2 of them. But got the headlight on. Throttle still works good. Got the tank on. And there's the bypass tube, and I had one nice long piece that I put onto the passover, the transfer tube, and I had seen somebody who had one that went underneath it, so this way you don't have to spill gas everywhere, and you can lift off the tank without making a fucking mess. It was just a little bit of snug getting it past the frame there, that little bit. And I had to turn my petcock. God knows why it has to go like this. But when I had it, this actually makes it pretty easy. I don't mind, because you'll just go doop, doop, and it'll be really nice. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It won't be a selling point, or a failing point. But you can get to these hoses a lot nicer, and it doesn't shove them up into anything. See, I got perfect clearance there. So I'm going to... Well, I got the seat on. Let's see if it goes down okay. Oh yeah. There we go. That is tight. Nice. And I'll just carefully get the tape off of here without getting chunks of shit inside. Yeah. Yep. That got coated really nice. That looks perfect to me. That is like the best red coat I've ever fucking done. I dropped something in there, but yep, going. I'll have to clean this off. I got paint chunks on it. So I'll clean that off, get the gas cap on. I'm gonna order some chrome trim for the bottom edge of the tank right there, and get a threaded rod, and then it'll be done. Also, these are the overflow tubes I need. This right here came from a toilet. So I'm gonna have to get some more tubing somewhere. I'll find it at the hardware store when I go there for fucking, yeah, this tube right here is pretty much shot. Just barely catches the drips. And yeah, man, I already want to go for another ride. Those side covers are gonna be nice. And that seat's like, I like the original vinyl that they used to have for these things. It looks like real fucking leather. Real leather. I don't even care that it's got a couple splats on it. That's just fine. Alright. That tank's a little snug. Because it had wear marks on it right there, so it's cool. Alright, it's a beautiful looking bike. Ooh, it's so shiny. Yeah, this thing is gonna get, it's gonna be a pussy machine. Oh, there's people out there. See? Okay, I'm pissed. I had the first startup where I did not know if it was gonna run or whatever, and I thought it was recording it, and the goddamn thing didn't save it or something. I don't know what the fuck happened. Technical difficulties. But I've gone and gotten the tank on there now, put my little reflectors on. That's like one of the last things I do. Usually the last thing I ever do on a build is put on the left handlebar grip, but this one I didn't even take them off. I don't even know if these are stock. They look pretty 70s. But tank is on there good, and seat's on. But I lifted up and I figured out the latch. It's the weirdest ass latch. I couldn't figure it out when I first got it because I was like, I didn't know that this thing was something you had to pull to open it up. So if you're ever like wondering what the fuck's going on, you're supposed to lift that up because that's the permanent stay, you know. This holds it, and this right here just stops it from going any further. It's a really nice seat. Really nice. Anyway, I got the gas tank hooked up, and I got the little lever on there. That was a fucking bitch to do. I fucked up a little bit of the paint around there, but I'll stick some grease on it. A little bit of grease. I'm all about the grease. It's good shit. And anyway, this little ring right here, a little bit of grease. I'm going to put some wax. Got some good old turtle wax on the tank because I haven't waxed it yet. I've only used the buffing compound on it, and I'm gonna do this just in case I spill it or it leaks or something fucking stupid. And honestly, you should really want your tank with this brand new super soft paint job. Man, this shit is fucking brittle. You want it to be nice. This might take out some of the areas where I hadn't quite buffed it well enough. Up around the front corners over there, I didn't quite get it good enough. But you know, I know the job is done. Yeah, alright. Sexy. I think I had this turtle wax for maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 years. I don't even remember where the hell I got it from. Yeah. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna do this off camera. Finish it. Just a nice little stark contrast so you can see how awesome it looks when you take back that wax. Oh yeah. Ooh, filling in those gaps. Now, that is a sexy vintage paint job. I want to call it Concourse, but it's not. I didn't put like 5 coats of clear on it and then miraculously get something that was fucking super shiny like a mirror finish. But man, I wonder if it cleaned up. Can't quite see the haze down here, but It appears like it's gone. So anyway, waxing isn't just a superficial thing where it looks nicer. It actually, you know, if I spill gas on it, it might give me a couple seconds. Just leave a shitty mark on it. But I not only am doing the tank, I'm going over and I'm going to do the chromes. I really like this. This is like the nicest little moment here. Press it on. I want to get some tape for it, but I don't really think I need to tape it. Yep. This one I might want to tape. But still, that is sexy as fuck. I'm a happy boy. It's nice looking. Yeah. Okay, moment of truth, take 2. I thought that I had a stupid problem with the petcock leaking because I turned it on and it just immediately started pissing, but that's sort of a thing that I've had felt before with petcocks because maybe there's no lube in there, and I probably should have taken it apart and put it back together again, even though it was brand new OEM, fucking awesome, amazing stuff. But I've had brand new OEM petcocks where I had to put a petcock on the exiting feed line from it to make sure that it fully stopped. So it could be leaking in there the entire time and I wouldn't really know it, but I think that I got the drain tubes on it anyway and it would be fine. But I've got like every little fucking thing shined up on it, and now that I got gas in the tank, I'm going to do my first start number 2. I mean, cold pipes. I just want to show how fucking sweet this thing is anyway, so I'll turn on the fucking gas. Make sure it's not fucking pissing everywhere. I'll leave that right there just in case it starts to leak again. But it turned out the right way. Yeah, I turned it a little bit. And so, I got the air filters on. Hopefully these covers won't fall off. Choke is on. The ignition is on. Gotta make sure this is on. Started up better before. I think it's because it's cold and I have the air filters on now. Wait a second here. It's really cold out here. You can see. Likes to have the choke on. So there's about half choke. Open up the door. So I'm not breathing solid in here. The flow going. Still not leaking. Good. Nothing coming out of the tubes. Good. That is a nice shiny ass bike. Idling perfectly at about 1,000 RPMs. Oh yeah. Choke off all the way. Perfect. I can see that dent that I tried to cover up there a little bit now. And I got some crackling in the paint, but Whatever, makes it look pretty vintage. Smells good. Still no oil leaks. It's not pissing. It's not pissing at all. Nice. Nice. That is quiet. I thought I adjusted the valves kind of loosely. Oh, I didn't test the horn. Yeah, it works. Good. I forgot to test the horn. Cool. Just let it warm up a little bit. Some of that fresh fuel in there. It's really quiet. I guess I did a really good job on the fucking valves. Can I feel the air getting sucked in? Yeah, I can. Wow, that's cool. Alright. Make sure those are still working. Headlights working. Cool. The brake light on, off. Brake light on, off. Good. Alright. Put the side covers on. This bike is ready to roll. That thing sounds nasty. Maybe a little bit of steam coming out the right side. Hopefully that side's running okay. I just want this to get warmed up. That's still cold. You know it's running. Both cylinders, real good. Fucking sweet. So, that's pretty damn successful. It is cold out today, but warmer than all the other days. Mid-December, beginning of December. Whew. I just love the sound of this thing. That right side, I don't know, man. Feels good. Hot. It's hotter over here. Uh-oh, I got a hole in the exhaust. That's why. Moisture is coming out of that pipe, but it's not coming out of this pipe. Oh well. Still all pissing. Send it. I'm gonna get some chrome pieces. Put the side covers on. And it's done. Alright, some crazy asshole. I'm gonna go for a test ride before I get the side covers on because I think it's all ready to go. Uh-oh. Tires are flat. Yeah, that front tire needs some air in it. So I got about 25 or 30 in the front, 25 or 30 in the back. Start her back up. Big two. screwdrivers, but I got them. This one, and this one. That sounds about right. Alright. See if she goes okay. Try to get rid of all this looking ice down here. super sweet fucking ride. It's got a little bit of giddy up, but I can tell it's a 350 and not a 450. Sweet. So I'm getting down to the nitty gritty little shiny bits, and I haven't really had a bike that I thought that I should be doing that to in a while, because, you know, usually it's the rusty wing, the XS, which is almost like a grunger friggin' hot rod. But now I got this vintage thing that has all this freaking crazy ass chrome from the 70s, and it's good chrome. I mean, the rust bits on it, I can't do anything about that, but I doubt that a 50-year-old thing can not have rusty bits on it. But the least you can do is get it really shiny. And I thought I'd just show what a little bit of steel wool can do. And we've got the one that I haven't cleaned off, and then we got the one that I have cleaned off. And the shine and the haze is way, way different. And I can even go a step further and take off this bolt and clean that off, which I think I might do. It's worth it, you know, just little bits. And little things like that one's straight and that one's a little bit bent. I can try to do things like that. I noticed that the muffler is hanging a little bit differently, but that I have no idea why it would be different, because unless my fucking brackets are crooked, there's no reason why one should be hanging further than the other, or it's connected into the other pipe differently. But I'm not going to be able to do anything different about that. And I kind of like the noise of it, but I ordered some baffles for it, and I threw out the old one. I have no fucking idea where the hell it is, unless it's in the bottom of there, but I just emptied out my trash just like a week ago. But I'm moving on, and just shining up little bits, you know, a little bit right there. Get rid of the scum that was on it. Do this for a little bit, and you can see an amazing difference. Just after that, my hand hurts. That right there? Look at that.
That's another thing. We don't have laundromats, so
That's like a little secret. See?
in the sink.
Bam. Muy satisfaction. So, I am bound and determined to get this shiny bastard to fucking come together with all of its stock parts. I can accidentally hit the wrong button, but fuck, you can't even see it here. I was sticking my hand up under there. The problem is that I can't get this fucking light to hold down. It doesn't matter. This bolt is supposed to go all the way through here. And given you're supposed to have the cover on too, so it would add like an extra 1/8 of an inch. And you can't see where the fucking end of it is. It's really close. It's really close. But I kind of realized, well, I know I had that conundrum with the little air box on it and the gasket there, but back here I can feel the gasket, and then I feel this filter. I literally just caught a moment where I just pushed the filter on, and now it's sandwiched with the surface. It was, I could feel it. Like, here was the gasket and there was the filter, and this one's down. Let's see what happens. If I had an inch on there, it'd probably be good. God damn it. Nothing's gonna make that thing long enough. I can only think that I'll take the filters off and try to smush those gaskets on more. Maybe the gaskets go on to the filters and not the battery box. I really want to get this thing together. I'm munching on nuts. I'm thinking, what can I do that's different? Push the filter on as far as I could go. I can't feel the gasket. Maybe this one here is still a little bit off. And maybe this one's still messed up. But what if he's going this way? I'm gonna mess with the gas. So here's my solution to this problem. This one wasn't into that inner air box gasket either. Amazing this thing ran as well. It'll probably run better even without it, or even better with it connected. I'm not teasing myself and thinking that I know that that's not going to go through there, but that hopefully just push these filters on there a little bit more. And if I wiggle them, then they'll seat a little bit better. I know that they're only as strong as the surface of the material that is the filter, but these were actually probably the best looking filters I've ever had. Is that turning that around? Of course it is, because I took it down really good. But I'm going to see now if I can get those on with that. Whatever. Call me a bitch. I smushed it in there with my fucking leg while I was pushing down the fucking side. And now I got the covers on with the nice little OEM nipples. Oh my god, dude. And I feel bad because I don't have the washer. But you know what? The backside of this has a washer on it. I'm just thinking that, you know, shit swells. And I have that, oh my god, the air filter on there. And I can feel it still maybe a little bit off. It's like, you know, they designed it just to fit perfectly. I don't know how I can tell if it's even on there really, really good. No, it's in there. It's in there. I can feel, oh, maybe not. Oh my god. What I got on there now? It runs. Since I got my my little bullet situation kind of figured out, I'm gonna put the little emblems on side. I realized that the little flyers go one way and another way. How convenient. In order to look like it's flowing in the right direction, this is this cover, which that's the front. I'll put it on that way. And I put some 3M foam tape on the backside. So in there. I did manage to save some of those, but as you can see, one of them broke off and one of them completely broke off. I don't know if that's gonna work at all. I don't think it's gonna work at all. I taped them on. Damn. I don't want to fuck those up. Well, tape will work. It's not gonna fall off. That shit ain't going nowhere. Boop. Next one. Oh my god, dude. That was a pain to do. First I had to get that in. Then I had to get the little cap on it. I think that what happened is the rubber on here probably expanded and is a little bit bigger than it was. So I can push this on easily without having it in the side cover, but what I had to do, whoop, fell on the floor, was with these right here, I had to just bend them out a little bit, just to kind of, because it'll still hold on. It's not gonna fucking go anywhere. This is totally just a decorative thing. And you can pay like $35 fucking on eBay for them, brand new, which is crazy. But that's because it's 50 years old and nobody makes them anymore. It's just a weird looking grommet, chrome, like I said, decorative thing. But I bent that out and I got the other one on. Now this friggin' thing, I'm gonna have to struggle with it. I could struggle with this for like 2 or 3 minutes on camera, but that's what I did before, and I'm gonna... Holy shit, just a combination of the screwdriver pushing it on the backside. And I got a brand new microfiber, you know, whatever, fucking stupid shit blanket. My wife's not using it. And then this right here, if you open up those tabs enough, oh. And it's not just gonna fall off. So, one of the moment of truth. I have greased, obviously the inside of that's greased. The 2 holes where that go in are greased. I'll make sure that right there is lining up. Yep, it's on. bitch. I will fucking warm you up. That's how I feel about this. Like, seriously? It's hanging there and it's on. Motherfucker. Could be because of that too. That's not good. Whatever. It's on. Looks pretty fucking good. Send it. Shabam. Done. Except for the chrome piece I would put along the bottom of the gas tank. But that's just like a total superficial thing. Those side covers look sexy. That bike is as beautiful as it was, almost as it was the day that it came off the showroom floor. Probably about as good as you can get for being 50 years old. Success. Runs great, nice and fucking shiny. Even shinier there. Yeah. That right there's not perfect, but okay. That'll be the end of my video. And I can see myself. Yeah. Nice. Sexy.